Hey, I think we're on. Um, Good Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I don't know why. But anyway, uh, happily, I've got a very, very busy day uh, ahead of me. And I just wanted to share something very short. And I may even sing a little something for you here in just a second. Um, I just want to talk briefly about uh, what it means and what we have to go on to define what it means to be a Thelemite. Okay, in uh, anybody that chooses to call themselves a Thelemite and identify with such, there's really not much you can argue with them. I certainly don't have the discernment to confidently say that one person or another is or is not a Thelemite. I can have an opinion if I believe at any given time uh, they're acting like one, but that's sort of a personal judgmental thing. It's like sort of like the supreme grade or initiatory level of the magus. Okay, or more specifically, the master of the temple. Crowley said, if you take the oath of the abyss with full magical intent, then you can claim, as if it makes it any difference to the universe, but you can claim that you're a master of the temple, an 8 equals 3. And no one can or should argue the point with you. It's either that you've gone completely fucking bonkers, or you really are a master of the temple, and nobody can tell you that, presume to tell you that you are or you aren't. So, in a sense, saying that you're a Thelemite is, well, okay, if that's what a Thelemite is, then you just go ahead. It's not my place to tell you you're not. But the Book of the Law says something very fundamental about who calls us Thelemites will do no wrong if he look but close into the word. And then in comments, Crowley spells the word thelema in Greek and breaks it up into three. It's a very interesting comment. But the whole verse, this is chapter 40, or verse 40 of chapter 1, who calls us Thelemites will do no wrong if he look but close into the word. For there are therein 3 grades, the hermit, and the lover, and the man of earth. And after that statement, the Book of the Law, for the first time, says, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. In other words, the watchword, the motto, the sign of a Thelemite, the greeting, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, is the last sentence in the verse that says, who calls us Thelemites will do no wrong if he look but close into the word, for there are therein 3 grades, the hermit and the lover and the man of earth. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. So, I mean, many of us belong to one or several occult organizations that help us or are meant to help us attune ourselves to be more effective magicians and to help raise our consciousness up whatever various ladder we're Kabbalistic or otherwise that we're using to demarcate our different levels of consciousness, our initiatory grades, our degrees, if you want to say. But when it comes right down to it, it all boils down to just those three: the hermit and the lover and the man of earth. In later on in chapter 2, verse 24, it says, "Behold, these be grave mysteries, for there are also of my friends who be hermits. Now think not to find them in the forest or on the mountain, but in beds of purple, caressed by magnificent beasts of women with large limbs, and fire and light in their eyes, and masses of flaming hair about them. There shall ye find them." Now, in 2011, I believe, it was my honor and privilege to speak at the O.T.O's National Convention. And I spoke on this subject because in the O.T.O, the different grade levels are overtly and formally broken up into starting at the bottom, the Man of Earth series of initiatory levels, then the Lovers series, and then finally the Hermit series at the very top. Similar structurally to the craft degrees and the Royal Arch degrees and the consistory, different levels of, like the Scottish Rite Masons, okay? But the O.T.Os officially, these degrees are the Man of Earth degrees, these degrees are the, there's no big presumption that the candidate or the individual members, as they're going through this, are officially on this personal spiritual level that degree. It's like, well, this is the degree of the experiences. You're either going to have to become that as your own magician or not, you know. But at that ceremony, or at that Notocon lecture, I talked a lot about the experience of the Holy Guardian Angel and my years in the O.T.O. In 2 years, I'll have been in the O.T.O. if I live. I'll have been in the O.T.O. 50 years. And yes, I've gone through the Man of Earth, the Lovers, and the Hermit grades of the O.T.O. And it's been one of the greatest privileges of my life. And at the end of that talk, my good friend and high O.T.O. Officer Hank Hadid played the guitar, and I sang this little song that I wrote especially for the occasion, but there's nothing proprietary in it. And it's done to the tune of "It Was a Very Good Year." And I was reflecting back on my my O.T.O experiences up to that point. And I can't play. It's kind of a jazzy, cool little thing. But I'm going to share that with you today because I'm going to have to do a little short thing. So excuse the rustiness of my guitar playing. This is only going to take a moment. And I did it to the tune of "It Was a Very Good Year." The Frank Sinatra made it famous. And forgive me if I don't have the composer of the music's name on my the tip of my tongue, but I'll post it. So, actually, it's one of Sinatra's best songs. I was a man of earth. It was both heaven and hell. 1,001 soaring flights through Arabian Nights and political fights with mad bishops and kings over magical rings. Yes, I remember the well. Then I became a lover. I had a very good time, festooned with roses and blood and white tie and tails and champagne and blood, Eleusinian blisses and limousine kisses. I had a very good time. And now a hermit I be. I've moved uphill from the camp. I tend a garden so rare, but I don't really care what blooms and what dies. Both the fool and the wise receive the light from my lamp. It was a very good year. Okay, it's kind of goofy, but I tell you it was very sincere. And on that sincere note, I'm going to say, I'll see you tomorrow for Saturday morning cartoons. Have a great weekend, everybody. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under well.